Very good. Now it's time for our closing remarks. Patrick, if you'll start. And I think we have 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman, on closing remarks or less. Feel free to decide that for yourselves, but share with us from the heart.
All right, thank y'all. Let me go back again first and say thank you again to each of you for coming out and participating. You know, I think America still has the greatest form of government in the world, and it takes people like y'all to come out and take your time to be here tonight. You know, it's a shame that we don't have a packed house tonight to hear what our leaders, potential leaders, are offering to our community. But I think what I would like to leave y'all with tonight is, again, that I have been in LaGrange for many, many years. I've been involved with many different organizations, many different civic groups, been involved in many worthwhile causes throughout this community. For me, to come as the chairman of your Troup County Commission is to bring the leadership skills that I've learned and developed over those years of being here in this community and serving in the private sector. I have ideas of things that I would like to explore with our citizens. I think that our local government, there's been a lot of concern that we haven't at times maybe tightened our belts like we should have to show folks that we're interested in being conservative also. I think that people are very concerned about what their government's involved in and how do we look at that as a community. But your local government belongs to each of you. And my role will be to listen to you, to hear what you think is important as I go about serving you for that 4-year period of time. But I am very concerned that if certain ideas that's been brought up tonight of how they would affect our budget, because I've heard it loud and clear, no property tax increase for the next term. And so I think that if we're going to propose things such as salary increases, which again, I fully support our county employees, it would make me nothing happier than to give everybody a 5% raise if I had the money. But I think it makes much more business sense to go in there and determine those areas that we need to improve and be competitive. I mean, if we're losing firefighters or sheriff's deputies or trash collectors to another county, we owe it to our employees to make sure that they're getting fairly compensated. So I have no problem whatsoever with that. But I think there's got to be a plan. My kids always hated me when I said they want to do something. I said to them, you got to have a plan. How are you going to pay it back? You know, they hated me to say the word plan. But there's got to be a plan for us to do the things that we want to do in government. And so if I'm telling you that I hear y'all on a property tax increase, then these things that we're presenting have got to be paid for in some way. And generally in a budget, that means something's got to get cut. So, you know, what things are we willing to give up? If my opponent wants to identify those things that he thinks is not necessary, then I say let's do that. Let's have that discussion up front. But for me, it's hold the line, create a conservative budget, ask each department head to cut their budget, find out what things we can maybe do away with, and then look at those innovative ways that maybe we can improve some of the revenues that come into the county. Because I'm telling you, those things, if they all add up to $1.2, $1.3 million, that's 3/4 of the meal. And either we're going to bring in that much new revenue, or we've got to cut something. And when you start talking about cutting, you know, if you take, for example, the rec department, a lot of people like to jump on the rec department. But a lot of you in this room are kind of like me. We're eligible to go to the senior center, you know, Active Life Center across there. And that's one of our programs that our recreation department funds. And, you know, there's 150 seniors over there. I've been over there when they have their program. Frank and I will get to go over there and do a debate with those people. So our government is very complicated. I mean, to me, it's simple, but yet it's complicated. We have a budget that if we mess with this area over here, it's going to have an effect over here. So for me, I look at it as a way to create some new revenue, a way to ask department heads to jump in there and help you figure out a way to reduce that budget during the lean time. When things are good, maybe we'll all feel better about spending a little money at that time. But for me, it's all about making sure that we can pay for the things that we promise our citizens. Again, I love Troup County. I plan to stay the rest of my life here in Troup County. And so for me, I would want to be a good leader for y'all and represent y'all well at the courthouse.
My son has a business in Troup County. My daughter-in-law has a business in Troup County. My wife works in Troup County, and I worked in Troup County for 37 years. So I definitely have a tie here, not planning on going anywhere, and I want Troup County to succeed. I love Troup County. However, I have been in government for 37 years. Every election, y'all think about it. We all stand up here and say, we're not going to raise property taxes. But I have a plan to actually try to do something to help Troup County. I have a plan that I think the governor may end up getting on board, because we're not going to have any choice but to do this. I usually don't read, but I want to read something to y'all tonight. And I can't see because I'm old, so. But this is an article out of a magazine called Georgia Outdoor News. It's a very recent article. And it starts out, keep in mind, again, that this is Georgia Outdoor News that wrote this article. It said, Chickamauga has been the best bass lake in the southeast, if not in the whole country, the past few months. Many bass weighing more than 8 pounds have been landed. In most tournaments, you didn't even need to weigh in if you didn't have 5 bass that weighed 25 pounds. Why is Chickamauga so hot with big bass right now? Stocked in by the state of Tennessee, a Florida and northern strain largemouth bass called an F1 hybrid that grows very fast and is very aggressive. Tennessee DNR reports show they have stocked these fish, both F1 strain largemouths, and these fish have reached trophy size, and their offspring are reaching bragging size. They go on to say that Chickamauga is only 3 miles north of Atlanta, and if you live in Georgia, you're missing out by not going there. Well, this is Georgia's #1 magazine about fishing, and they're telling everybody to go fish in Tennessee. I have a problem with that, and y'all should too. And we can fix it. We can fix it. This is the same magazine, the newest issue. It does not mention West Point in it one time. And yet, there's over 2 million people read these magazines. People in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina read them. So, you know, I have a plan to try to fix this lake and bring people in here that I honestly think the governor will get on board, because Georgia's going to have to do something. The governor has this big plan about Go Fish Georgia. Well, we're going to have to fix the fish in Georgia if you want people to come fish here. Building boat ramps is not going to do it. Building boat ramps is not going to get people to come in Georgia, I'll tell you that right now. But these fish, if we get them in this lake, y'all will see something happen here you will not believe. And I really want to thank every one of y'all for coming. This is a large crowd. I've been around politics my whole life, and this is a big crowd. Usually there's 15 or 20 people show up, so this is a large crowd. So thank all y'all for coming out tonight.
Let's thank both the candidates.
First of all, I'd like to start off by thanking Senator Mike Cramer for coming. Our #1 goal tonight was to inform the voting public of Troup County. And if I may say so myself, I think we did a good job tonight with getting some information out that was vitally needed. Also, I want everybody to remember, after May the 20th, we're going to have a winner of this campaign. And we, as a Republican Party, are going to have to support the winner. We need to, instead of trying to cut these 2 gentlemen up, we need to be proud that we have them. And after this forum, I feel very confident that either one of them that win, we're going to have an excellent candidate to represent Troup County for the future. And I want to thank both of them for coming, and I really do. I think you did a great job, both of them. Thank you.